Here is something that might surprise you. One of the most revealing tests for your mobility after 60 takes about 5 seconds. You do it every single morning, and most people have no idea it is quietly showing them a silent risk. I am talking about putting on your socks. That is right, something that simple, something that ordinary. Let me ask you this. When you put on your socks in the morning, do you sit down first? Do you lean against the bed? Do you grab the wall or a chair? If you do, I want you to keep watching. Because today, I'm going to show you exactly what this everyday moment reveals about your balance, your hip stability, your ankle strength, and your ability to react when something unexpected happens. In clinical practice, when we work with adults over 60, we look for these quiet signals, the small changes that happen gradually, the ones most people miss completely. This is not about shame. This is not about making you feel bad. This is about awareness. This is about catching something early while you still have time to improve it. Before we dive in, a quick but important note. This video is for education only. I am not your personal doctor. If you have dizziness, chest pain, recent surgery, severe osteoporosis, neuropathy, or a history of falls, please talk to your doctor or physical therapist before trying anything you see here. Now, here is what I promise you in the next 22 minutes. First, I will teach you exactly how to do the socks on test safely, including a modified version if standing feels too risky right now. Second, I will explain why walking alone is not enough after 60, even if you walk every day. Third, I will give you 5 targeted exercises that directly improve the weaknesses this test reveals. And finally, I will give you a simple 7-day plan so you know exactly what to do and when. Let us get started. So what exactly is the socks on test? It is beautifully simple. Here is what you do. Stand in a safe area. Make sure you have a sturdy chair or countertop within arm's reach, just in case. Now, without holding on to anything, try to put on a sock while standing on one leg. That is it. That is the whole test. Can you lift one foot, slide a sock onto it, and stay balanced? Can you do it without wobbling, without grabbing the wall, without putting your foot down halfway through? If you can do this smoothly on both sides, that is a good sign. Your balance systems are communicating well, your hip stabilizers are doing their job, your ankles are providing the micro adjustments you need. But if you struggle, if you wobble, if you need to grab something, this is valuable information. It does not mean something is wrong with you. It means your body is sending you a signal, a quiet signal, a signal most people ignore until something bigger happens. Now, let me give you the safer version of this test. If standing without support feels risky, do this instead. Stand next to a sturdy chair or countertop. Place your fingertips lightly on the surface, very lightly, just for security. Now try to put on your sock. Notice what happens. Do you press down hard on that surface? Do your fingertips turn white from gripping? Do you feel your standing legs shake? These are all clues. These all tell us something. Here is what the socks on test actually reveals. First, it shows your balance. Can your brain, your inner ear, and your muscles work together to keep you upright on one leg? Second, it shows your hip control. When you lift one leg, the hip on your standing leg has to work hard. If it is weak, you will lean or wobble. Third, it shows your ankle stability. Your ankle makes constant tiny adjustments when you stand on one leg. If those adjustments are slow, you feel unsteady. Fourth, it shows your core coordination. Your deep core muscles have to activate to keep your trunk stable while your leg moves. Fifth, it shows how much you rely on vision. Some people can only balance when staring hard at one spot. That tells us the other balance systems need work. So this simple sock test is actually testing multiple systems at once. That is why it is so useful. And here is the important part. If you struggle with this test today, that is okay. That is not a failure. That is your starting point. And in just 14 days, with the right exercises, you can see real improvement. Before I show you those exercises, there is something crucial we need to discuss. If you are someone who walks regularly, I want to say something clearly. Walking is wonderful. Walking is good for your heart, good for your mood, good for your circulation. Please keep walking. But here is what most people do not realize. Walking alone is not enough after 60. Let me say that again. Walking is good, but walking alone is not enough. Here is why. When you walk, you are mostly moving in one direction, forward, on flat ground, at a steady pace. Your body gets very good at this specific movement, but life does not happen in one direction. What about when you need to step sideways quickly? What about when you turn suddenly because someone calls your name? What about when you stumble on an uneven surface? These moments require something different. They require strength. They require balance. They require reaction speed. Research suggests that after 60, we begin to lose muscle mass more quickly. Some studies indicate we can lose a significant percentage of our strength each decade if we do not actively work on it. And here is what matters even more. We lose power faster than we lose strength. Power is your ability to generate force quickly. It is what allows you to catch yourself when you trip. Walking does not build power. Walking does not challenge your balance. Walking does not force your hips and ankles to stabilize under load. That is why someone can walk 5 miles a day and still struggle with the socks on test. Think of it this way. Walking is like the foundation. It is essential, but you also need the walls and the roof. You need strength. You need balance. You need reaction training. The 5 exercises I am about to show you target exactly what walking misses. Each one addresses something the socks on test reveals: weak hips, unstable ankles, slow reactions, poor core control. Let me walk you through them one by one. We are going to count down from 5 to 1. Number 1 is the most important, so make sure you stay until the end. And quick reminder, if you are finding this helpful, drop a comment right now telling me your age and where you are watching from. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. Let us begin. Exercise number 5. Wall push-ups with a 3 to 5 second hold. You might be wondering why push-ups are on this list when we are talking about balance and legs. Here is the connection. When you stand on one leg to put on a sock, your upper body has to stay stable. Your shoulders, chest, and arms help keep you from falling. Strong upper body muscles also help you catch yourself if you lose balance, whether reaching for a railing or bracing against a wall. Why this helps? This exercise strengthens your chest, shoulders, and arms while engaging your core. The hold at the bottom builds endurance. Step-by-step instructions. Stand facing a wall. Place your palms flat at shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Step your feet back about 12 to 18 inches from the wall. Keep your body in a straight line from head to heels. Slowly bend your elbows and lower your chest toward the wall over 2 to 3 seconds. When your chest is close to the wall, hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Keep breathing. Push back to the starting position. That is 1 repetition. Common mistakes: letting your hips sag or stick out. Keep your body straight like a plank. Holding your breath during the hold. Placing hands too low instead of at shoulder height. Easy version: stand closer to the wall and reduce the hold to 2 seconds. Harder version: step further from the wall and increase the hold to 7 or 10 seconds. Recommended reps and sets: start with 2 sets of 8 repetitions with 30 seconds rest between sets. Work toward 3 sets of 10 to 12. Safety caution: If you have shoulder pain or recent shoulder surgery, skip this exercise and talk to your physical therapist. Make sure the wall surface is stable and not slippery. Exercise number 4. Seated leg lifts. This exercise directly targets the muscles you need for the socks on test, your hip flexors and quadriceps. When you lift your foot to put on a sock, these muscles do the heavy lifting. If they are weak, that movement feels difficult and you lose balance. Why this helps? Seated leg lifts strengthen the front of your thigh and your hip flexors. These muscles help you walk upstairs, step over obstacles, and recover from a stumble. Step-by-step instructions. Sit on a sturdy chair with your back supported and feet flat on the floor. Sit tall and engage your core gently. Slowly lift your right leg until it is straight out in front of you. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds. You should feel your thigh muscles working. Slowly lower your leg back to the floor. Complete all repetitions on one side, then switch. Common mistakes. Leaning back too far, which makes the exercise less effective. Lifting too fast instead of using slow, controlled movement. Holding your breath. Easy version. Lift with your knee slightly bent and reduce the hold to 1 second. Harder version. Add a light ankle weight of 1 or 2 pounds. Hold at the top for 5 seconds, or add a resistance band around both ankles. Recommended reps and sets. Start with 2 sets of 10 lifts on each leg with 30 seconds rest. Work toward 3 sets of 12 to 15. Safety caution. If you have knee pain, lift to a comfortable height. Do not push through sharp pain. If you have hip replacements, check with your doctor about hip flexion limits. Exercise number 3. Standing heel raises with balance hold. Now we are getting to the heart of balance training. This exercise targets your calves and ankles while challenging your ability to hold a position without wobbling. Remember, your ankles make constant micro adjustments when you balance on one leg. This exercise trains exactly that. Why this helps? Strong calves help you push off when you walk and react quickly when you lose balance. The balance hold at the top trains your proprioception, your body's sense of where it is in space. Step-by-step instructions. Stand behind a sturdy chair with your fingertips lightly on the back for safety, feet hip-width apart. Slowly rise up onto your toes over 2 seconds. Lift your heels as high as comfortable. At the top, hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Focus on staying steady. Slowly lower your heels back to the floor over 2 seconds. Common mistakes. Rushing through the movement, gripping the chair too tightly instead of using light fingertip support, leaning forward during the rise. Easy version. Keep both hands on the chair. Reduce the hold to 1 second. Rise only halfway if needed. Harder version. Use one fingertip or no support at all. Try single leg heel raises. Close your eyes during the hold. Recommended reps and sets. Start with 2 sets of 12 repetitions with 30 seconds rest. Work toward 3 sets of 15 with a 3-second hold. Safety caution. If you have Achilles tendon problems or foot pain, reduce the range of motion. Make sure your chair is stable and will not slide. If you are enjoying this content, take a second to hit that subscribe button and tap like. It helps more people over 60 find this information. Okay, back to the exercises. Exercise number 2. Chair, sit to stand. This might be the most functional exercise on the entire list because you do this movement every single day. Getting up from a chair, the toilet, the car. When you put on a sock standing up, you have to control your body in a partial squat position. Chair sit to stand builds exactly that strength. Why this helps? This exercise strengthens your quadriceps, glutes, hip muscles, and core. Research suggests this is one of the best exercises for maintaining independence as we age. Step-by-step instructions. Sit on a sturdy chair with knees at about a 90-degree angle. Sit toward the front edge with feet flat, hip width apart or slightly wider. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward for balance. Lean slightly forward from your hips to shift your weight over your feet. Push through your heels and stand up fully. Pause at the top for 1 second. Slowly lower yourself back to the chair over 3 seconds. Control the descent. Do not plop. Common mistakes. Using momentum by throwing yourself forward. Letting knees cave inward instead of tracking over toes. Forgetting to lean forward first. Easy version. Use a higher chair or firm cushion. Place hands on your thighs for assistance. Harder version. Use a lower chair. Hold a light weight at your chest. Hover just above the chair for 2 seconds before standing. Shift most weight to one leg as you stand. Recommended reps and sets. Start with 2 sets of 8 repetitions with 45 seconds rest. Work toward 3 sets of 12 to 15. Safety caution. Make sure your chair will not tip or slide. If you have knee pain, limit how far you lower. If you feel dizzy when standing, pause at the top and breathe. Exercise number 1, bird dog hold progression. Here it is. The most important exercise on this list. The bird dog directly trains what the socks on test reveals. It challenges your core stability, hip control, and balance while forcing opposite sides of your body to coordinate exactly what happens when you stand on one leg while your opposite limb moves. Why this helps. This exercise strengthens your deep core stabilizers, glutes, and lower back. It improves coordination between right and left sides and trains your body to stay stable while limbs are moving. In clinical practice, this is often one of the first exercises we use for balance and fall prevention. Step-by-step instructions. Start on your hands and knees on a yoga mat or folded towel. Hands directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. Keep your back flat. Imagine a glass of water on your lower back that you do not want to spill. Engage your core gently. For the beginner version, start by extending just one arm forward. Hold for 5 seconds. Lower, then extend the opposite leg straight back. Hold for 5 seconds. As you get stronger, progress to the full bird dog. Extend your right arm forward and left leg back at the same time. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Keep your hips level. Lower slowly, then switch sides. Common mistakes. Arching the lower back instead of keeping spine neutral. Raising the leg too high above hip level. Rushing through instead of focusing on quality. Holding your breath. Easy version. Practice arm-only or leg-only movements before combining. You can also do this standing while holding a sturdy counter, lifting one leg back. Harder version. Increase hold time to 15 or 20 seconds. Add tiny circles with your extended arm or leg. Close your eyes. Place a cushion under your supporting knee. Recommended reps and sets. Start with 2 sets of 6 repetitions per side with 5-second holds. Rest 30 seconds between sets. Work toward 3 sets of 10 with 10-second holds. Safety caution. If you have wrist pain, make fists and balance on your knuckles or use the standing version. Add extra padding for knee pain. If this causes lower back pain, check your form and reduce hold time. All right? Those are your 5 exercises. Wall push-ups for upper body stability. Seated leg lifts for hip strength and leg control. Heel raises for ankle stability and balance. Chair sit to stand for functional leg power. Bird dog for core control and full body coordination. Now let me show you how to put these together. You do not need to exercise every day. Your muscles need rest to get stronger. Here is your weekly schedule. Day 1, Workout A, wall push-ups, 2 sets of 8. Heel raises with balance hold, 2 sets of 12. Bird dog holds, 2 sets of 6 per side. This takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Day 2, rest or gentle walking. Day 3, Workout B, seated leg lifts, 2 sets of 10 per leg. Chair sit to stand, 2 sets of 8. Bird dog holds, 2 sets of 6 per side. This takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Day 4, rest or gentle walking. Day 5, workout A again. Days 6 and 7, rest. You are exercising 3 days per week. If you feel good, you can add a fourth day, but 3 is enough to see improvement. Progression rules. If you can complete all sets and reps with good form and it feels moderate, stay at that level for 1 to 2 weeks. If it feels easy, increase the difficulty. Add a rep, add a set, or use the harder version. If it feels too hard and your form is breaking down, use the easier version. There is no shame in this. Every 2 weeks, try the socks on test again. Write down your results. Can you do each leg? Did you need support? How much wobble? If you miss a day or even a whole week, do not give up. Just start again. Consistency over time matters more than perfection. Let me bring everything together. Today you learned about the socks on test, a simple activity that reveals a silent risk by testing your balance, hip stability, ankle strength, core control, and reaction ability all at once. If you struggle with this test, it is not a failure, it is your starting point. You learned why walking alone is not enough after 60. Walking is wonderful, but it does not build the strength, balance, and reaction speed you need to prevent falls. You learned 5 targeted exercises and have a 7-day plan with 3 workouts per week and clear progression rules. Here is my challenge to you. Today, do the socks on test. Use fingertip support if needed. Notice what you feel and write it down. Then start the exercises. In 14 days, do the test again. I believe you will be surprised by how much you can improve. Your body is capable of more than you might think. Now I have a question for you. Which part is hardest for you right now? The socks test? Stairs? Getting up from a low chair? Tell me in the comments. I read every one and often use your answers to create new videos. If this video helped you, please share it with a friend or family member over 60. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting me with your time.